Before I begin giving you my thoughts on The Last of Us Episode 7 Left Behind, now I would usually have these up like the second the video, like the episode ends or like after the episode ends, but last night when I was trying to upload this, I was an idiot and I decided just to publish it. And as it was uploading, I closed my computer. I deleted the video that I originally recorded for it and I lost it. I've been trying to spend the last half hour trying to find it, but I never found it. But I had to re-record it, as you can see, but yeah, just be lucky this came out. I'm sorry if you were looking forward to watching that the second the episode ended, but now you can watch it now. And like I said, I've been really enjoying this series so far, and I just want to, and I'm really glad how this episode is taking the story of the DLC that came with The Last of Us titled Left Behind. And now I had never played it before, but until the PlayStation 5 remake came out back in September, and right after I beat the game, I decided to finally play the DLC. Now, when I first played it, I didn't really love it. I thought it was okay. It wasn't the greatest DLC I had ever played at that point. But then I went back and played it a few months later because I wanted to refresh my memory. I'm like, I don't know about that one. But then I went back and played it, and I thought I was better the second time. Maybe the reason because it was showing how Ellie got the medicine and stuff that she, like the stitches that she got for Joel back in the Last of Us, the main story where it showed us how she got like stitches for to seal up his wound. I just didn't really care for that at first, but then after the series started going and after all that and it's showing us answers that we never seen before, I started to appreciate that DLC a lot more, and it was awesome to see the show that DLC come to life. And here are my thoughts on it. Starting off is with the photo booth. Now there is a scene in the game where you go to this photo booth thing and then you do all these weird poses like silly face, scary face, back to back, and they do all of that here, and it was awesome to see all that. And I just really like that. It's a fun scene in the game to do, and it's a fun scene to do here. It's a fun scene to play in the game, and it's a fun scene to see in the TV adaptation. There's just a lot of love put into the show, man. Like, cause even when if you watch like the trailer for this, you can even see them like doing like the reaching their arms out at the camera and putting their tongues out. When I saw that, I was like, they're doing the Left Behind episode and all that. And the way they brought that photo booth scene to life was just awesome. Another scene that I was cool to see brought to life was the Mortal Kombat thing. Now in the game, the game is broken. There's no power to it, so Riley has to tell Ellie what she's supposed to be seeing, what her imagination is supposed to be seeing. Like then you get to play it, you can imagine that you're actually fighting someone. But in this, it actually has power, and they actually get to play. And all the quarters that was in that machine, they wasted all on Mortal Kombat 2, which I imagine would actually happen when that game first came out. And it makes me really, really jealous that I don't get to play any of the original Mortal Kombat games. Another thing I want to talk about is when I went and talked about my episode 3 review of this series. I said, like, when Ellie was messing around with Mortal Kombat 2 Machine, the character she was talking about, I accidentally said that that was a made up character. Now, if you watch that review, I wasn't the biggest fan of Mortal Kombat. I liked playing it, but it's a game series that I never really played. But now that I have more Mortal Kombat in me now, and I understood that that was an actual character. Sorry. Another part of the game which I thought was cool to see brought to life, can you tell how much I'm loving the game in this? Is when there's a spooky section in this where after Ellie and Riley are fighting, how Riley tells Ellie that she's leaving because Riley ran away to join the Fireflies and they're both and Riley is leaving. And then after they fight, Ellie walks away, but then Ellie finds Riley again, and then they're in this Halloween store, which Riley thought would be Ellie's favorites. And then they even go this far enough where the masks that they put on this show were the same exact masks in that DLC. They did not have to do that, and I was amazed when I saw that. I was like, those are the actual masks. God, you could have bought like any generic mask. You could have bought some on like Amazon or just go to the dollar store buy them. But no, they went that far in getting the same exact mask of the game. God damn, they love this game, don't they? I also really like the look of the mall, where in the game you don't really get to see much because there's not much light because it's just pretty dark throughout most of it. But in this, they turn on the lights and it is gorgeous. All the lights, all the camera work, all the cinematography, it was just awesome. Like seeing the lights to the arcade, the lights to all the beauty shops and all that. It was awesome. Just awesome. What else do you want? Like I said in the game, you don't really get to see much of it at first because it's a bit dark. You have to play through this entire fucking section just to turn on the lights. But I'm glad that they just automatically turn it on so they can see this. And I even like the little scene when the power turns on and Ellie's going down an escalator for the first time, and us people watching, I'm like, it's a goddamn escalator. It's not that big of a deal. But for her, it's the first time seeing it. What was your reaction when you first stepped on an escalator, dude? And the last thing I want to talk about is Ellie being a lesbian. Now, when episode 3 of The Last of Us came out, a lot of people turned on this show for having two gay characters. And now we have an lesbian character with Ellie, which is one of the main characters. Now, when I had not played the DLC, like I said, but when I played The Last of Us Part 2, it showed that she was a lesbian. Like, actually came out and said people did not play the DLC. And I was a bit shocked. I wasn't mad at them for saying that. I'm not mad that they're going to have an LGBTQ character. But the reason I want to talk about it is I feel that the people watching the show will in fact turn on that, and I don't want that to happen. A lot of people seem to think that everyone should be straight, but I don't think that. I think that if you want to be an LGBTQ person or if you want to make an LGBTQ character in a show, movie, game, whatever, that is fine. That is your decision, but it might not land for everyone. It's fine with me. I accept everyone who they are, but there's a lot of people that I feel by the second I go on TikTok or anything like that, I'm scrolling through, people are going to be making fun of Ellie for being a lesbian because in the game and the show you find out her best friend was her first crush and the person that she loves. And it doesn't make me feel uncomfortable. I was just watching it like normal, like so sweet. But people are gonna turn on it. I imagine they will. And then after it's always devastating to watch the show, and then the game when I'm playing the game, it's always devastating because you know what's gonna happen. That Ellie and Riley are gonna both get bit. God, I can't speak today. And just you know something bad's gonna happen. Like if you played the game, you know what's gonna happen. You're like, no, at least you just fell in love. Now chaos is gonna ensue. I wish we lived in a better world where people weren't so goddamn sexist. All in all, guys, this was another terrific episode. I thought this is probably my third favorite episode. Now, at first, I was like, yeah, this is pretty good, but it's not my favorite. But now that I'm kind of growing on it more, it's my third favorite right now, behind episode 1 and 5. So what did you guys think of episode 7, titled Left Behind of The Last of Us? Is this your favorite episode? Did you not like this episode for some reason? And please let me know what you think about Ellie being a lesbian. I want to see that conversation, and if you agree with me that people should be the way they are. But until my next review, take care.